guys, it's Amber. Thank you so much for joining me today. So today we are going over my favorites from e.l.f., my best and my worst, and I do have a few like in the middle things that I'll talk about as well, but obviously things work different for everyone, so there might be some things that I mentioned that I love and you're like, girl, no, that was totally terrible for me, and that's totally fine. Vice versa, I might mention something that I hated and you might be like, it's holy grail status. Things are always relative, and obviously I haven't tried everything from e.l.f.'s line, so if there are things that are amazing from e.l.f. that I need to try out, you can let me know down below. There are a lot of other products that I have tried from e.l.f. that I did like, but I ended up decluttering just because of the amount of makeup that I have. There's no reason for me to keep everything. It's just impossible for me to keep everything. And so I decided to pass things along, even when I do like them, just so someone else can get more use and love out of them. Let's go ahead and start in on the favorites. So first, let's talk eyeshadow palettes. Now, e.l.f. eyeshadow palettes have really stepped up their game. Their Matte for Matte is an amazing formula and I really enjoy it. I ended up giving it to my sister just because it was something I thought she'd enjoy and I just didn't need to keep it. So I do like that. I'd like to try the newer Matte for Mattes, but I just haven't found a real reason to buy it just because I have so much eyeshadow. So I haven't bought them, but if you're looking for an affordable eyeshadow palette that is matte, I highly recommend those because they're only 10 bucks. They also have the e.l.f. Prisms. These are really pretty and buttery. I've talked about these in other e.l.f. videos, but this is just kind of like a summary of everything I still have in my collection. These are one of those things where every time I swatch them, I'm like, you know what? I need to get these out and start using these again. They are so pretty. I mean, this purple, yes. And then this one is the Sunset palette. This one is the Naked palette. And it just has really nice neutrals. There's what those look like. All right, next let's jump into some foundations. So the two favorite foundations that I've tried from e.l.f. are the e.l.f. Flawless Finish Foundation and the e.l.f. Acne Fighting Foundation. Now this for me is more of a medium coverage. This is more of a full coverage. I prefer this best applied with a beauty blender. I don't really like it applied to my skin with just my fingers quite as well as I do a beauty blender. I'm not sure exactly why, but that's how it seems to apply the best for me. This is the shade Porcelain. This is the shade Ivory. I don't know why they're different, but I don't know if I bought them at different times, but they look pretty similar. One looks pretty pink, one looks more yellow, but at one time or another, they both matched me, and so these are the shades that I have. Now, I can't verify the actual science of this helping my acne, but it does have a small amount of salicylic acid, so it is something to be aware of. And if you do have acne, that can help you, but I don't think like any foundation that's going to like take your acne away per se, but you know, it does have a little added benefit in there if that's something you struggle with. And it's full coverage because, you know, usually when you have acne, you like fuller coverage, so that is a nice combination. All right, let's jump back to a few eye products. These are ones that I mentioned on my channel several times, but I thought they were worth another mention since I still have them in my collection. One is the Long Lasting Lustrous Eyeshadow. This comes in several different shades. They are kind of like a nice little glitter bomb and a cream shadow. They're kind of squishy and I love them. And these are the Smudge Pots. This is Inclusion Chic. Love this as well. It's so beautiful. These are so much like the Revlon whatever those smudge pots are that they have. Paint pots? No, that's MAC. Anyway, but these are cruelty free, so I stopped and I got rid of all my Revlon ones and I just use the e.l.f. and I actually like them just the same and they're cheaper. And this one I have like in a pretty gold color, a lighter pink color. I have a black with glitter sparkles, which I need to get out because it'll be perfect for holiday smoky eyes. So I highly recommend these. I'm kind of jumping all over the place, but you know, it's totally fine, right? So I'm going to jump back to foundations for a second and talk about a concealer. This is the e.l.f. Maximum Coverage Concealer. Out of all the concealers I tried from e.l.f., some weren't so great. This has been my favorite and I actually feel like it does have good coverage. So I'll do a little swatch here and then I'll show you my Tarte Shape Tape, which is known for having really good coverage. And I wouldn't say like it's as full coverage as the Shape Tape, but I mean for e.l.f. and the price difference, the color shades are slightly different. That one's a little more yellow and pink, but mean, pretty dang good. And I didn't find that it was like a horrible creasy mess or anything. All concealers crease a little bit on me. I always have to set them with powder. So if that's something that happens to you, it'll probably happen to you with this. But overall, I really like this. It is oil-free, so if that's something you have an issue with. And I'm also in the shade Porcelain. So I guess this one and this one go together. Must have ordered them at the same time. All right, let's talk blush. So I like several different blushes. The first one is not something I use a lot, but I'm gonna keep it in the best because I think these are amazing and they're pigmented. This is something that needs to come into my everyday makeup drawer again. And I think these are fun poppy blushes, and I think I could definitely make these work even for fall, even though they're brighter. So this is really great. These little pans pop out so you can actually swap them out with like their contour and highlighting palettes. So really ingenious idea, and they're $6, so you really can't go wrong, and totally recommend them. Now for their little duos, I have the Aqua Beauty and I also have the regular matte. And I like these both. This one's in Fiji Matte and this one is in Bronzed and Pink Beige. I like the cream consistency of this, but it does kind of dry off to a powder finish. This is a classic kind of powder, but I mean, if you're on a budget, these are really great, and I like that they're matte because they work good for all ages, and you're not gonna have to worry about doing too much shimmer if you don't like a lot of shimmer. These are perfect for you. I also really like their singles. At one point I owned all of them, but I just realized that I just didn't need to own all of them. So I did pass them along to other people, but this is a really good fall shade. This is Berry Mary. This is one of my favorite fall blushes. Oh my goodness. Look how beautiful that is. I think I need to put some on. Went a little strong, but you know, I really like this. Probably put too much on, but you get the point. It's a pretty blush color. Wow, put a lot on. I guess you can't have too much of a good thing. If you like a strong blush, I really like this one. The other one I have is this nice hot pink. This is in Pink Passion, and I basically don't have anything else. This bright bubblegummy pink. I should have used this more in summer, but I kind of forgot about it. Kind of got hidden in my collection, but it's something I really do like, and I feel like these are good quality, especially for the price. I think these are like $3, so yeah. All right, moving on to contouring and highlighting. I love their contour palette. You can tell that I have used the heck out of this because I hit pan in that kind of banana shade, and I like these two contour colors as well. They dupe some of my high-end contour shades. Now I'm not too crazy about this. This actually comes off a little chalky, and I think what I should do is pop this out and switch it for one of the blushes. I think that would be perfect, and then it would just be a perfect little compact. So I should do that. Now highlighting powder, I have the HD highlighting powder. This is in Starlight Glow. This is gorgeous. This rivals some of my high end in the formula, the texture, the sheen. It is so beautiful. We will just, again, demonstrate. You do not need to spend $50 or $40 for a beautiful highlighter. This is $6. I mean, you're glowing. I mean, I'm glowing to space right now. I'm so overdone. Wow. But I'm having fun, right? That's what it's all about. So highly recommend this. If you just like a little glow, just go a little light-handed and you can go ham, and you can even apply it wet. You would be like blinding people basically. All right, so I'm gonna go to a brow product I really enjoy. This is the e.l.f. Brow Pencil. This is in the shade Taupe. It's perfect for my eyebrows, and it has a little spoolie on the other end. I did lose the little cap thing, but you know, what can I say? But these aren't very expensive, and I haven't gone through them nearly as fast as I went through like the micro brow pencils. I mean, I have a lot of brow products, but I used the L'Oreal one before I started trying to go more cruelty-free, and it was so skinny. I went through it in like 3 weeks. It was crazy. This one has lasted me so much longer, so I recommend that. Alrighty, so for primers, I have the e.l.f. Mineral Eyeshadow Primer or the regular eyeshadow primer. Those have both been really good. Also, the e.l.f. Glitter Primer. A lot of you guys have asked me what glitter primer I'm using, and it's just e.l.f. I'm not using Too Faced or anything expensive. It's just the e.l.f. one, and it seems to work really great. So I've had no reason to try those because this is doing it on a budget, so, you know. For lip products, I have their e.l.f. matte lip colors. Now these can be a tiny bit drying, but I do really enjoy the colors. I think they're beautiful. I have almost all the colors and I've kept almost all the colors. This one was one that I really enjoyed wearing this year, especially because it's just so amazing. This is Hot Commodity. I have this little day to night duo and it has this really nice hot pink. We can swatch that too. And it has a more, you know, everyday pinky shade. Really great colors, really, you know, wearable and kind of fun pop. I really like the e.l.f. moisturizing lipsticks. Some people don't really like their lipsticks as well, but this one is in Pink Minx and it's a great pink. It's something that is a flattering pink shade for me. And I still like the $1. Now these do tend to break a little bit more and their formula is a little soft, so they always get kind of gunky in there. But for $1, if you're comparing dollar, I mean, it's creamy and I love the color. It's such a me color, so I feel like you can't go wrong for $1, you know. So for brushes, I really like a lot of the e.l.f. brushes, especially the ones that are like the little step up, like the studio brushes. This blending brush is very similar to ones that are very expensive. It's kind of the wide one, but it's like thin on the side. This one is a great one. I wish I had 20 more of these so I wouldn't have to wash them all the time. And also their kabuki brush is really nice, but I have not tried any of their more luxury brushes, but those ones are kind of my favorites as far as that studio brush line goes. And I do really like their daily brush cleanser. This is great for just spraying on a towel, wiping off brushes while I'm just doing a makeup look or doing swatches. And then their e.l.f. makeup mist and set. I do feel like they've kind of improved the scent because for a while I was smelling a little crazy, but I think they brought out a new one and it's smelling a little bit better. So thank you for that. All right, so let's move on to a couple things that were just okay for me. So I have this e.l.f. baked highlighter duo and it's pretty. It's just not something that I'm like, wow, reaching for all the time, have to have this, so amazing. You know, it's not just as pigmented. So it's one that I like, but I'm not like loving. The next thing is these little $2 things. If you only have $2, these are good. I'm not gonna say they're great, but they're good. The thing I don't like about this one in particular is that all the colors look too similar. So you've got a base, which is nice. So you got your base. But then I'm like, okay, that's my lid shade. There's my crease shade. Those are almost the same shade. And then liner. I'm like, I don't feel like there's enough difference in these to make it really a look. But if you were starting out on makeup, you were on a super budget and you just wanted something like neutral with a brown, you could get this for $2 and it would work. So I'm not gonna say it's crap because it's not crap. It's just not my favorite thing. And now for the negative things. These are things that I don't like, things that just didn't work out for my skin, or things that I changed my mind about, actually. First, I'll start with something I changed my mind about. This e.l.f. Ambient palette. When it first came out, I was like, oh, it's like the Hourglass powders and it's so amazing. And then I started realizing it just kind of looked a little chalky and I didn't know what I was going to do with this orangey one over here. I was kind of like mixing it all together. And it just didn't sit on my skin as good as what I envisioned in my mind. So this is something that I'm just probably gonna end up decluttering. Next is this e.l.f. I think it's Aqua Beauty foundation or something. All the information was on the outside package. I'm like, really, e.l.f.? Because I couldn't even reorder this and tell you what it was because there's nothing on it. They didn't put the sticker on the lid or anywhere on it. It literally says e.l.f. That is it. Like, I think that's a fail. But this was just a weird texture. It's kind of a squeezy tube. It's a light coverage, but it just ended up emphasizing like pores and texture and clinging to things. And I like put it on once and I was like, oh no, this is not happening. This is a bad idea. So this was a fail for me. Next is the e.l.f. Pro eyeshadow primer. I bought this thinking, oh my goodness, it's gonna be even better. I actually did a wear test between this and the regular eyeshadow primer, and this worked better. Like, I even got the most creasy, greasy, creamy eyeshadows that I knew would crease in a second. This held up better than this did. I'm like, seriously? So this is something that, you know, I'm just gonna get rid of. I was just waiting to do a video kind of like this. It's thick, but I don't know, maybe it just didn't work with my eyeshadow type. maybe it just doesn't work with me, but it was like so emollient that it just didn't dry down. I did try it with powder shadows too, don't worry, I did. And it just seemed like every time I would like do one in one and then take pictures, it just creased more. So that's a pass. Next are two things I don't have, which is e.l.f. mascaras, which I've never found one that I've liked, and the e.l.f. liquid eyeliner pen that's like a marker form. It was in my video, I think, titled World's Worst Eyeliner. I'm not one to put out clickbait titles, but that was seriously so bad. Like, it was horrible. It almost ruined my entire makeup look. I couldn't even finish using it. This one is the e.l.f. Lift and Something Brow. And the brow pencil actually isn't bad. It's just I like that other one better. It's not a bad shade and it's not a bad texture. The problem I have was with the lift side. I mean, I'm guessing they're catering to more lighter skin tones, but it's this weird peach color and it just like doesn't budge. Like you try to blend it out and it just kind of sticks, and it like emphasize any little eyebrow hairs that need to be plucked, and it was just like, what is this? This is a weird formula. I do not like this. So that's definitely a pass for me. And the last one is one I have upstairs, so I'm gonna be lazy and not gonna go get it. It's their exfoliator. I got just one thing from their skincare line because I was just like, I don't want to buy a bunch of stuff and have me hate it all or have it react. I felt like if they could do a good exfoliator on a budget, then the rest of the stuff will be pretty good. But it was one of those where it's like mostly face wash with like 5 beads, and you're like taking the 5 beads and trying to rub them around your face. Like, no, I don't have time for 5 beads. If I want to exfoliate, I want to have like lots of little tiny exfoliators so I can get the job done quickly, and I'm not just, okay, I'm coming over here now. No, ain't nobody got time for that. Even on a budget, I just rather get something that works and be able to use a lot less than have to pile on a ton to get enough to scrub my face, if that makes sense. So those were all my best and worst of e.l.f. Let me know down below, what are some of your favorites? Tell me something that I'm missing out on that I need to try. I know there's some new stuff that I haven't checked out yet, so if there's something I've got to try, let me know. What are also your very worst products you have ever tried from e.l.f.? I know it's hit or miss. Sometimes people try something and they're like, that was horrible. I hate e.l.f. It's horrible. And it's like, no, it's not all horrible. You just got to try different things. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoy. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe on the little bubble of my face, whichever side it's on, and check out some of my other videos. Thanks for joining me and have a wonderful day. Bye.